GoPro shares are rocketing after the camera maker posted quarterly profit and sales that were, shall we say, surprisingly good, very good, so good. Some analysts think that the stock could double over the next year. Really? Based on one quarter, Larry Glazer says, we might be getting a bit ahead of ourselves. Larry, you're worried because this is something we do with especially high-flying tech names a lot, huh?
That's right, Neil. Look, we really need to make the distinction, to be fair, between old technology and new technology. GoPro, Netflix, Amazon, these are companies that are new technology names. Valuations that are very tough to justify today, extreme by traditional measures, questionable earnings and questionable future prospects. You compare that to old technology names, Intel, Oracle, Microsoft, really high-quality balance sheets, dividend payers, reasonable valuations by historical standards. When we look at that distinction, we see today that investors have been driven to these high-growth companies because the economy is so stagnant. The economy is not growing. As evidenced by today's GDP, there is no growth in the economy, so we crowd into a handful of ideas and we hope for the future. And that doesn't end well.
All right, but the difference with GoPro, unlike these other things, I could put a GoPro on my dog's head and follow the images around the yard, which I think is beyond cool. So I think there is a promising technology. But do we get a little too heady about this? In other words, do we start assigning values to a pretty nifty camera maker and valuing it short of IBM? I exaggerate, but to make the point, does it justify these multiples?
Sure. We talk about innovation and the premium we're willing to pay for innovation. GoPro, by many people's standards, is essentially a Kodak that you stick on the top of your head. So I'm not sure that that's true innovation by today. Maybe your dog's head, but not my dog's head. But when we think about innovation in those terms, look, you can compare that to biotechnology companies today. We're incredibly rich valuations. They'll never make a profit. Neil, 75 to 80% will never make a profit unless they get taken over. There is no future prospect. So I think with GoPro, you've got to take a disciplined approach to these companies. You can't throw out traditional valuation metrics. Now, maybe this company's gotten lucky. There's a lot of competition. The barriers to entry in that space aren't that high. Apple is sniffing at their doorstep. They're right around the corner. If Apple wants to come into that business, they can give away the product and make it up in market share, make it up some other way. Likewise with Google. These are big companies that have their eyes on that business. It's very easy for them to get in. GoPro was the category killer. They were the first mover, and they should get an A for innovation and entrepreneurialism, and they've been rewarded in the market, and that's exactly what we're seeing.
Wow. All right. Larry, thank you very much.